porta-potty toilet. Not all of them are that nice. Some of them are badly neglected, like Christie Beach. Anyway, I'm not going to bother going down here. It looks like there's another couple here having a nice, quiet, private time, and I don't need to go wandering around down here with my helmet and everything, but this is a nice trail. You can get into the river if you want to put your canoes in the water here, do a Beaver River trip. But it's a nice little grassy spot by the water here. You can sit by the river and have a picnic. All I recommend is bring lots of bug spray, because you're going to need it sitting down there. You're going to get flies and everything on you. But if you have lots of bug spray, you could probably have a nice little picnic down there on a day like today. I've been meaning to take my better half down there, maybe my family down there for a little thing, but again, not sure how well it'll go, because my kid will want to swim, and it's just a river access. It's not a swimming spot. And the wife will be complaining about bugs. So, I don't know. Nice scenic spot anyway. You can't just not do anything just because you're worried someone's not going to like it or it won't be perfect. And like I say, sometimes the simpler things, watch this heavy gravel, the simpler things are better. They're the ones that you're going to remember. When you go on a trip, woohoo! Hey, it's getting out a little bit. There was a big group of bikers there. They weren't worried about the wind. Again, maybe it just comes down to having a heavier bike. So you can see the kind of area I live in. It really is a touring bike dream, and that's why everyone has the cruisers, because really that's what the cruisers are made for. They're made for out in the country on these nice paved roads, not big highways, but regular paved roads, you know. And everybody loves this route for bikes. So with that said, I'm not saying anything bad about the Forza. It's not that there's anything wrong with the Forza, it's just that every machine is designed for a specific purpose. And you got to remember, it's when you're buying a bike, or even if you're buying a car, you can't just get the prettiest car or the fastest car or the cheapest car or the most expensive car. You got to get the car or the bike that serves what you specifically want to do, and what specific area. What are you going to do with that vehicle? For example, we like in our business, we needed a vehicle that is good in the winter, so it had to be a 4x4. See, on these kind of roads, like this might look beautiful now, but trust me, it's not fun in the winter trying to drive around here. Got winter storms, icy roads, snow drifts. So we needed something, a good 4x4, good in the winter. What's good in the winter? As a 4x4, either an SUV or a pickup truck is usually good if it's 4x4. Then we needed something that could pull a trailer, because we have a big full trailer RV, and it had to be something that was good to pull a trailer. So again, that rules out the SUV. Now we got the pickup truck. And with our business, we like to pick up and deliver rugs and things like that. So we needed something that we could throw rugs in and other stuff like that. So it had to have good cargo capacity. Well, now it's totally narrowed down to the pickup truck, and that's why we ended up with a 4x4 pickup truck. You know, I love Jeep Rubicons. I love sports cars. I love vans. I love, lots of vehicles. But you have to get what's suited for your needs. The Forza wasn't 100% selected because of what I needed, and that because there's an experience issue that had to be worked in there as well. And the fact that I've only been riding for a couple of years on motorcycle, and then maybe a couple of years before that on e-bike, but I don't know if that counts, is that I really consider myself to be a novice yet when it comes to riding. So I didn't want to get a great big giant powerful bike. I didn't think that was a good idea. I thought that would be a dangerous idea. You know, it's just like if you're first learning how to drive, you don't get in a Maserati. You don't drive a McLaren or a Bugatti. If you had all the money in the world, I mean. You know, you're going to drive something that's easy to drive. So I went from the 150 scooter to the 300 Forza. You know, when I was shopping, I sat on the big 650 Bergman. I sat on these bigger bikes. And it wasn't so much a price issue as a holy shit, I'm not ready for this yet. So I sat on the Forza and it just felt like the right level upgrade. It felt right. It didn't feel like I wasn't making any progress, and it didn't feel like it was too much for me. It just felt like, you know, I'm going from a 150cc to a 300cc. Now I'll be able to go on the road. Now I'll be able to keep up or pass traffic. At least when I'm not getting blown off with the wind like I am right now. And so I was literally doubling. I'm just going to give you this view a bit. I'll put my head up a bit. I was literally doubling my engine capacity, so I thought, you know, that's a good step for me. It was a good step up. And then I'll get used to this thing, and after 2-3 years, maybe we'll double it again, and we'll go to a 650 or a 750. But with a couple years on this, I'm going to say, okay, I want something that can handle these windy days. If I go to plan a big bike trip, I can't cancel that bike trip just because it's windy out or a little rain. You know, I was lucky on the last road trip, but hey, what if it's windy? What if, you know, I still got to go. I don't want to go crawling all the way up there at 50 clicks. So that will be definitely something I consider on the next bike. It's interesting how I'm not planning on getting a bike for at least 2 years, but I'm already planning and thinking what the next step up would be. But I'm not getting anything new until this thing's paid for. So I was talking earlier about the Honda financing and how it pays it off the back end. Well, basically, when I have enough saved in that account, I finally get them cashed out of the stocks, that I could just pay it off, then that's how I'm going to pay it off the back end. Just maybe let those payments run like they are for about a year. I did a 3-year plan, so I'll pay off the last 2 years with my down payment money as I've been saving it up and building it up. Once that's paid, you know, then I'll have full equity in this bike, and I'll get a good trade-in value because it's not too old, as long as I don't smuck it up or anything. And it'll be great. So then I'll be ready. Maybe I'll get a Bergman or something. Still not interested in the big Harley Hog or anything like that. It's either going to be a Bergman or maybe the Honda Goldwing if I think I can handle it. But like, there's nobody out there that teaches you how to handle it. Nobody. It's like, there's the bike, go out there and figure it out. Which is unfortunate. I think a lot of bikers are like me, and they take it seriously they want to be good at what they do, they want to be a good rider, they want to have proper training in what they do and confidence. If somebody had some kind of training school besides just the typical Georgian college course, you know, your motorcycle safety course, if somebody had something besides that, then, you know, I think a lot of people would go. Everybody wants to learn to be better and have something to brag about. Yeah, I took that course and I went to this school, and Heck, you can make little badges and put them all the way down the side of your coat if you want. Here's another little thing I don't like, is these tar strips that they put along the cracks in the road. And the crack almost always generally runs right on the left tire track, which is where, as a biker, you want to ride. You want to ride here in the blocking position so that cars aren't just going to try and veer around you, but those tar lines grab the wheel and throw it around a bit. And again, I think it presents a hazard, a road hazard, so sometimes I have to ride in the middle of the lane to avoid those tar lines, because it's right in the spot where I like to ride the bike. I'm not really worried in dry conditions like this about oil on the road. You know, don't drive in the middle of the tracks because that's where the cars drop the oil, blah, blah, blah. Maybe if it was just starting to rain, I'd be more concerned, but today's cars don't drop quite as much oil as they used to, you know. I'm not seeing a big oil patch down the middle of the road. If anything, there might be a little more sand or gravel buildup there, because the tires aren't keeping it clean, so to speak. So I'd prefer to be in a left tire track. And again, another good reason to be in your left tire track is it's where you are the most visible. And you want to be visible. When you see videos of motorcycle crashes and whatnot, one thing I've noticed, a pattern, is that the guy driving the motorcycle is never in a visible spot. He's always like riding on the right side of the road or something like that, and so the car doesn't see him and pulls out.